Alright, back here in Darktown. The guys tried to mug us for, I don't know, some gem having to do with Gamlen, and it's all kind of mysterious right now, but apparently they were supposed to pass along a note regarding this gem, and they decided they wanted the gem for themselves. So it's obviously something of value or something. Anyway, Gamlen's pretty secretive about it, and of course we're going to go investigate it anyway. Gamlen would rather us keep our noses out of it, and of course, who cares what Gamlen wants, right? And I also want to mess around with my equipment a little bit. There's something I want to try, see how it works. And if it goes well, great. If not, well, you can always just undo it later. But
right behind you, Hawk.
Anyway, first, let me talk to my dog.
You know, you play Diamondback better than my cousin Vidar. You wag your tail whenever you have a good hand, though. Might want to watch that.
Is it brilliant or horrible that you played Diamondback with my dog?
All I'm saying is he'd be up more than 2 sovereigns if he watched his tells. My Uncle Emmett has a whole pack of rat terriers who play every week. They're a cutthroat bunch. You've got a long way to go to be their quality. Now don't take it bad. You're still better than Anders. Coming to the Hangman later?
Awesome. Teaching my dog to play cards. Alright, so what I was thinking is I would use my armor slots to put runes in that would raise my attributes so I can meet some equipment, basic equipment requirements, and get a few extra points and things like, I don't know, constitution, stuff like that. And I think each rune gives you 2 extra points in every attribute. And so I could meet, you know, the basics that I need for my daggers or what have you, and then use my rings and amulet and belt for specifically like critical damage, critical chance, you know, things like that. And see how that works. One thing that was a little bit troubling about this right off the top, though, was my health bar. Stamina bar got real short. I mean, like, really short there. And an attribute point, as good as it is for helping you meet a requirement for an item, doesn't do a whole lot for you in terms of, like, health and things like that. It only adds a few points, each point. And I think that's genius in that it really requires you to invest in a particular attribute, you know, to get it really healthy, really beefy. Like, you know, for a warrior, you've really got to sink some points in the Constitution to get any kind of significant health pool, for example. And so, anyway, you know, but just, you know, point here, point there, it's really nothing. It really takes away from other things that you really could be doing. And this is honestly just an experiment, just see how it goes. Something I hadn't really tried before. Normally, I use my armor for specifically defenses and stuff like that, and then rings and amulets and things to buff stuff that my character's already lacking, like health and things like that. And so I'm really leaning even more towards a glass cannon type of thing. Everything is basically designed for me to be able to carry my daggers, and then everything else is damage. But, you know, there is something to be considered about being able to at least take a hit from something before I can go into stealth or shed the aggro off on, you know, Aveline or something like that. And if I can't at least take that one hit, then, you know, it's just kind of useless because it's impossible to go through every fight without getting, you know, inadvertently hit by at least an AoE attack somewhere or something. Level of Isabella while I'm right here. Pretty much working off more or less the same principles as Varric for the most part. On my stream with my warrior, I'm building a Reaver Berserker right now. It's a really cool build, really brutal build. But I'm thinking about later in the game. We're not even at the end of Act 1 right now in the stream, as I sit here and speak right here. But at some point, maybe later on in Act 2 after that, I was thinking about running with Isabella primarily as my rogue. Yeah, just to see, just for a change. I've always kind of, you know, Varric's always been my go-to. He's a beast with Bianca now. Once you get attack speed up and all the different buffs that he has for attack speed and then haste and stuff like that, the thing turns into an SMG. I mean, he's just firing off, literally like with a machine gun or something. But Isabella can hold her own too. She gets pretty fast with those daggers. Plus, she has some really good tactical skills. She has the ability to draw enemies away, then send them off, and keep enemies on the field confused, I guess. And she can do her share of damage too when she's set up right. Like I say, it'd take a little bit of tweaking and some playing around with, but that's cool. Something new, something a little bit different. But I'm not messing with her much here. But with my warrior, you know, I have to have a rogue along. Someone needs to pick locks and disarm traps, because if nothing else, that's a lot of points that you leave on the table. If you just step through every trap and start ignoring chests, you can lose a level on your character, you know, in the long run. So I always make sure I have a rogue along for that. Plus, rogues do their job as far as, like I say, you know, directing the battle, at least to a certain extent. They can actually shed hate from allies who don't want hate, and put it back on, you know, Aveline and stuff like that. They can save your skin. Plus, they have Communion's Breath. That helps everybody a little bit. Makes you a little harder to hit. I think it's can definitely affect your criticals with a rogue if you have your skill tree set up right. So yeah, they're kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the party. They do all kinds of things.
There is justice in the world.
Is there? You want to free the mages. Let's say you do, but to get there, you kill a bunch of innocent people.
Good
What
point,
about
Isabella.
them? Don't they then deserve justice?
Yes.
And then what? Where does it end? It's like a bar brawl. People are continuously pulled into the fray, and nobody remembers why it started. Justice is an idea. It makes sense in a world of ideas, but not in our world.
You know, that basic truth basically slams Anders into the ground and makes his existence useless. So he's not going to accept that.
What do you want now?
I found this note on a thug who attacked me. It mentions your wallop, mallet.
Haven't played wallop since I was a kid. Still got my mallet up on the wall, though. Last time I was any good at something.
Alright, so go over here and grab this. What his wallop mallet has to do with all this, I have no idea. So we'll follow it out. You know, I think honestly it's to the point that he doesn't even know. He wants to leave his past behind, but he has no future. And maybe we can help him find one, you know? And it's hard sometimes, because Gamlen really doesn't have it coming.
So,
You know?
how good is Donick? Is he cocksure?
Oh, no.
The tree that mallet was made from is here in the alienage.
Okay, well... Oh, man. Too bad I triggered that dialogue, because I wanted to hear what Isabella was fixing to ask
It's Leah.
Aveline.
Do you remember me? You saved me from that murderer when I was a kid. Sorry, Captain. I don't mean to.
Not at all. Go on.
I wanted to say thank you. I wasn't thinking straight the day you saved me. That monster deserved what he got. Captain?
Dismissed. She joined the Guard a few months back. She's got a good understanding of what we're up against.
Awesome. And it's kind of also awesome that Aveline hired her. You don't see many elves in the Kirkwall Guard.
So this is the tree Gamlen's wallop mallet comes from.
Wallop mallet? You must be the one I'm supposed to give this note to.
This person is like an underpaid brothel wench. He enjoys leading us on.
I was given a few coins to hand this over to whoever came asking about wallop mallets. Unfortunately, the person was hooded, and it was dark. I didn't get a good look. Obviously a human, though. No mistaking that. Even hooded, you all look alike.
warehouse? I don't like being led around. Unless leashes are involved. And they're not.
Okay, Isabella might have some of the best dialogue as a follower. I think I'm actually going to enjoy having her along. It's always new. It's always good to find a new new element of the game that you hadn't really experienced much of before. Kind of liven things up a little bit. How many times have I played through this game and still finding new stuff? Companion dialogue is really a big part of it. I mean, it really is. It adds a certain, I don't know, flavor to the game that it just makes it special. Same with Mass Effect, same way. Big fan of that. Alright, so I'm sure there's going to be an epic mob battle, right? It always is when we get led to some warehouse on the docks. This is a bad place. Think about it. All the stops that we've made here to drop off into you know, one of the docks, one of the warehouses, one of the whatever, and it always ends in a epic boss type battle.
Ugh. At least the crates are numbered so we can find them fast.
Okay, apparently it stinks in here. If I remember right, there's an actual, I'm not going to say quest, or maybe a crafting material? Something here?
Something seems off. It's a trap!
That's awful, right? And we really need to get out of this. Really, really do. Of course, there's enemies involved also, but it slows you and damn near kills your whole party too. Nasty stuff. Standing there in the poison, dealing with them isn't going to help any. Almost got Aveline dead. Wow. Okay, I'm sure these are more of the thugs looking for the same thing we're looking for, or something. So we're in a something of a treasure hunt. We have competition. I guess that's the gist of this. So they try to mug us in Darktown. Now we have some other people trying to mug us here. Set a trap for us. Somebody heard we were coming, right? But if this is a trail Gamlen was supposed to follow, he'd have been dead a long time ago. I'm just saying. Maybe that's supposed to be the idea or something. I don't know. This dude right here has stunned me just about one too many times. Oh my gosh, this dude has... What the hell? This guy needs to go. Right now. No ifs, ands, or buts. And if you watched yesterday's video, you remember me saying about the thunder and the huge storm? It's happening again now. I don't know if Texas here is making a statement, thumbing its nose at California or something, that they can't get a drop of water. We've had rain every day for, well, it seems like a month.
Sounds like the opening of a bad romance story.
It's time to end the...
We got some nice thunder and lightning rolling in again. All right, so good loot drop, really. All these boxes have had at least something in them. That's cool. Well, I guess I could do without that. Moth-eaten scarf, that's not worth a whole lot. That is one element when you take it out of a game. The random loot drop, you know? Where each box could contain something that you really could use. Some cool new thing. That's a big deal to me. I like having that. Sometimes RNG, I think that's what they refer to it as, can piss you off because you never get what you're looking for. It can happen. It does happen to me often, but same token, just the excitement of never knowing what you'll get when you loot somebody or something. I really like Fallout and Oblivion and stuff. Is basically what you see is what you get. If you see an enemy shooting at you with something, you can have that gun or that item, that sword or whatever they're using. You know, their shield, their armor, whatever. I mean, you may or may not actually pick up the uniform they're wearing necessarily every time, but for the most part, yeah. If you see them wearing it, you can have that. In fact, I remember in Oblivion, you'd see somebody in a mixed match set. They'd have like an iron breastplate on and some leather boots, and that's what you could loot them for. You could have that. It may be in horrible repair condition, but it was yours. You know, I thought that was just awesome. And so then your random loot drop was based on whatever enemies were generated in your world. And certain kinds of equipment. And if you wanted special versions of things, usually you had to go do a certain quest or follow out some hint or some little storyline, you know, off to the side to wind up at a place where, you know, somebody, you know, had a particular sniper rifle, or somebody had a special sword, or somebody had a particular shield, or, you know, something like that. And that was cool. I really liked that too. But this, where any box or any random, even enemy can possibly drop something that you can use. Either way, it adds something to the game. Where, you know, I mean, if you knew where everything was at all the time, set loot everywhere all the time leads to a pretty linear game experience, in my opinion. I played a few games that are something like that. Actually, no, I'm gonna say, you know, Mass Effect didn't even have that. You had the crates that you had to open. It was kind of like a little mini game thing where you press the buttons in a certain order and you could open a door and get in and find some locked chests, or you could spend your your Omnigel to open up the stuff, but it would still be random stuff. But the selection of items that they would drop for you to choose from was pretty much level generated and pretty well defined. You weren't going to find a whole lot of you were just going to find stuff that was your level, and it could be anything. It could be a couple weapon mods or a set of armor, maybe if you were really lucky, or whatever. But there wasn't a wide selection. But still, it was random, you know. Anyway, all right. So if it looks like I just took a jump to this, this was a cave that was set on the world map, just off to the side. There wasn't anything between. What was his name, Bonnie Lim or whatever. It wasn't anything between his store and here. It was just a matter of leaving the docks and going to the world map and finding this. I'm trying to cut out some of the mindless in-between traveling here and there when I can. I don't see my damage output being that much higher. I might see some 300s instead of 290s here and there or something, but I'll tell you what, I can't take any damage. Stamina hasn't been an issue because I regenerated about as fast as I spend it. Rogues get their stamina back on basic attacks. I think that's kind of backwards. They give warriors stamina back based on kills, and rogues, but I think it should be the other way around. I think a rogue, if they really wanted to throw a little extra challenge in there, would get their stamina back on a kill. And plus maybe a little bit of extra stamina back on criticals. So if you set your rogue up for a lot of criticals, then you get rewarded for that. And that's great, because you have to have a build design in mind to get lots and lots and lots of criticals. And you have to have invested your rogue on a certain path to do that. So I think that would be a good reward. But I think stamina should come back on kills, where a warrior with each hit, you know, the thrill of battle and so on and so forth, I think would be a good way to get stamina back. Because, tell you what, with a Berserker, stamina is an issue. And true enough, you can hit multiple enemies with one hit. And if you can kill them fast enough, you can get your stamina back. I mean, there is that. But I would like a stamina per hit for the warriors also. Just me. Inquisition, they had that. It was stamina per hit for rogues and warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe for rogues it was free. Maybe it was backwards. Think of it. But I know the warriors got a lot of stamina back per hit. So if you were just using basic attacks, you never ran out of stamina. Wasn't even an issue in Inquisition. Origins, trying to remember. Origins relied pretty heavily on a lot of active abilities and stuff. My rogue, not so much. It was mostly basic attacks and just, once again, getting a lot of criticals. But, you know, as long as you were flanking an opponent, you basically got criticals. You know, that was pretty easy. It was a little more simplified than this one was. Combat was a bit more basic. Seems like when I played a two-handed warrior in Origins, though, it did, seem like stamina was something of an issue. Not much, though. Not like this one. My warrior in Dragon Age 2, stamina's a problem. It really is. Especially playing Berserker, because you spend stamina with each hit instead of get it back, and you have to get kills, or you just run out.
I should have expected he'd send you, cousin.
You have a cousin?
I have a cousin?
Gamlen never told you. Of course he didn't. Why would he?
Sorry to interrupt this touching family reunion, but we have unfinished business here.
Veld! What are you doing here?
Mekkel is dead. That bitch killed him.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have said that.
What's a Mekkel?
My brother. Mekkel was my brother, and you killed him.
Oh yeah, my boots still stink from stepping in that.
Mekkel was just supposed to hand over the note.
You really think we didn't read it? We know about the gem charade. Hand it over. I won't let Mekkel's death be for nothing.
Yes, you will.
Let your brother go up against someone like Hawk for a stupid gem. You know what? I did find the gem, but you're not getting your pathetic little hands on it, Veld.
Fine. We'll do this the hard way.
Well, hard for you, maybe. I'm not going to have much of a problem with it. I promise you that, buddy. This dude's got some health, too. And he gets to heal. Well, we need to take him out, or else we're not going to be able to kill anyone else, because he's buffing the shit out of everybody. There we go. This was an interesting fight, because it brought in a number of reinforcements I really kind of wasn't expecting. I guess you should expect a lot of backup this late in the game, but still, I was kind of surprised. Yeah, and surrounded by archers. See, it's not fair. I can take no damage. Look at that. I mean, seriously. I'm used to having a bit of survivability, so I at least have time while I'm fighting to, you know, drop a health potion. But, like I say, my damage output, I don't really think it's any higher. Not really. I think all I did was just rob myself of a lot of health and armor and resistances and extra health and stamina, you know, that come from rings and amulets normally anyway. And I had basically dedicated, you know, any ring or amulet that gave me critical damage, critical chance, attack, whatever. I went with that, and I don't see it making that big of a difference. You know, now if all my criticals, every single attack was, you know, 400 or 500 or something, okay, well, you know. But then we'd be killing stuff so fast that wouldn't really make a whole lot of difference. We wouldn't have time to. Oh wow, okay, we got assassins here. Okay, well, you probably shouldn't have taken out my friend over there.
You're going to regret it.
I'm assuming somebody took down that assassin. Yeah, see, that's a lot more enemies than I was expecting.
You're pretty useful in a fight. You don't take after Gamlen at all.
And I wouldn't have taken you for his daughter. What with being able to fight.
I guess I should take that as a compliment. My mother, Mara, she left Gamlen before I was born. He was so fixated on finding that stupid gem, I doubt he even noticed she was gone. She told me about Gamlen before she died last year. I didn't even know about him.
You told Veld you had the gem. Were you lying?
Not at all. I found the gem. I managed to pull off what Gamlen couldn't.
You set this whole thing up just so you could meet your father?
I just wanted to see, I don't know, how far he'd go for something he really wanted. And then he doesn't even show up. I baited him with the one thing I thought would get his attention.
He's got some good qualities. You might be surprised.
Really? What do you think I should do?
I think you should go talk to Gamlen. Does he even know about you?
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't throw away the chance if I were you.
Maybe give him a chance before you write him off.
I think I will. Having a cousin turned out to be a good thing. Maybe having a father will too.
You know, this kind of softened me up a little bit towards Gamlen, because if his whole fortune and everything was lost chasing this gem, including his wife, he's lost enough. And maybe that made him bitter, which caused him to make decisions and do stupid stuff and get involved with alcohol and, you know, chasing whores and blah, 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 and this and that and whatever. And it's just spiraled, snowballed downhill from there, and he could never turn the ship around and go back uphill. I get that. I mean, that's real life drama there with people. Stuff like that happens. And you don't see yourself spiraling out of control, or you do, but you're kind of clueless because you're in the box. You're in the middle of the tornado. It's usually people outside that looking in. It's really easy for them to judge what you're doing and say, oh, this guy's such a loser and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But when you're in it, when it's happening to you, sometimes you don't see with such clarity. And so if he's lost everything, he's lost enough. What if we could help him get it back? What if this gem could possibly bring him back some kind of stability and give him, you know, decent living and a way to at least get his daughter back and have a family, which we've all lost. Don't have to lose any more, you know? We can stop the bleeding right here.
I realize this is kind of new to me. I didn't know Mara had a baby. If I did, I would have, I don't know, gone after her or something.
She used to say I was so much like you, and I didn't even know who you were. I guess I wanted to see for myself. I need some time to think about all this, but if it's all right, I'd like to come back and talk more.
I think I'd like that. Keep, safe.
Looks like you two had a good talk.
It was bloody awkward, that's what.
I was worried she wouldn't come find you. I think you need each other.
You know, I may not say this very often, but I'm glad you're one of the family.
But seriously, next time, stay out of my damn business, girl.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we opened an old wound there, and but you know what? This time it can heal instead of festering. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing. And that's just how I'm going to look at that. And he can be all stubborn and grumpy if he wants to, but I think that can't end anything but well.
Easy, big girl.
Nothing else. Let's say they don't get along and they find out they can't stand each other. Nothing lost there. Still something gained. They have closure. She doesn't have to wonder anymore, and he can, you know, well, he can just add one more thing to his tab of failures, you know. But, you know, that would be done. As much for her as it is for him, but either way, I think they both win. And I'm, like, totally down with that. I say we've all lost enough. An opportunity to gain something. Yes, please. I'll take that. Alright, so I'll take my go-to squad here, and we'll go look for some more trouble to get into. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top, and if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image right there in the middle. And thanks for watching, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.